Does this thing even work? I think I'm live. I have to pop out the chat, move it over out of the way, move the window. That will work there. All right, man, you guys have been here for a while. I was having some technical difficulties. Turns out I had all my shit packed up for the tour, and then getting it all reconfigured back on my home computer was difficult. I'm not terribly late. Just I like Scott said, Lord Marr. Ooh, Lord of the Flies. I could go with that too. There he is. G Marr. Hey. I'm still trying to catch up. My moderator is here. All right, caught up. Hello, everybody. Nice to be back in the home studio. So tonight's live stream brought to you by the fine folks at Rock God Brewing Company over there in Danville. I'm going down tomorrow for some taste testing of the Imperium. I've seen the label. So there's that. All right. So that's happening. Speaking of the fellas over at Rock God Brewing Company, Ben and Garry. Gary's daughter, Maggie, had a birthday today, 12 years old. Happy birthday, Mags. I got a new nickname for her, but I haven't told her what it is yet. But I'm thinking about calling her Peggy, because Captain America, the Peggy from Captain America's name was Margaret. I don't know if Peggy's a normal nickname for someone named Margaret, but so Matt's going to become Maggie. Maggie, if you're listening, happy birthday, Peggy. All right. Yes, Mike Fiore, the label is pretty sweet. I see my buddy John Ammons is here. He doesn't know this, or maybe he does now, but even the airsofters have moved on from woodland camo. Mr. McConnell, hello, sir. And like, I don't say sir in the office, it's just sir, because I tell everybody that. TJ, I like where your head is with this. We'll talk about that royalty-free music for the launch of Imperium. It has to have a certain natural harmonics infused heavy edge a la the namesake. So if you can come up with something, yes, we'll talk. So first thing on my list, happy birthday to Peggy. Crossed off. All right. Now, let's see. What else am I going to talk about? Yeah, I'll get to all that. I watched a video today. I'm not going to comment on who posted the video. It was a big industry name. And they were talking about one of their products, and they had somebody demonstrating it. And they had filmed it in fucking portrait mode. instead of landscape mode. So then when I watched it, it was like a tiny little thing on my screen going the wrong way. I'm like, man, regardless of whether the information in it is good or not, if you can't fucking get your people to film in landscape mode, you should stop being on social medias. All right. Got the chemo shorty birdcage flash hider. I don't know what that is. No, it wasn't Costa. It was an industry company, like a big name company. I like the company, but their people, their employees, don't know how to film. I won't throw shade on them on the internet though. But for everybody else listening, landscape mode, film in fucking landscape mode. See, I have that on my list. I don't know if you can read that. Fucking landscape mode. Crossed off the list. All right. FCD. Who's FCD? Do I know them? Forward something? What did you say it was? Forward control design. I can't say the names for me. I have all of the parts for the first 10 sling dubers. Those of you who have seen them, the time will be short that you can get yours first. I'll put it over on the Patreon site. Again, just the first 10. However, they're not ready yet because Austin 3D printed me the plastic part that goes in a sling, and they're in a bag somewhere in my house, and I don't know where they're at. I doubt my wife is watching this because she's at work, but if she is and she knows where the bag of parts are, I think he had 20 black ones and some blue. The blue are kind of limited edition, but I don't fucking know what I did with them. So either way, sling dubers are coming shortly, and people will get some first dibsies on them. And if you don't know what a sling duber is, don't worry. After people get the dibsies, I'll make a video, and then I'll put them a link on the website where you can buy them. All right. But those are coming as soon as I find the plastic parts. Let's see. Basically, tonight's live stream, I was just going to talk about my trip to Texas and back, the spring tour. I say it was to Texas, but I had a lot of stops in a number of states. And they are all limited edition because I can't find them. In fact, I know where there's one. I put one of the blue ones on my black and blue Blue Force gear sling that I keep and loan to students at class that have a shitty sling or no sling. I don't even know where that fucking sling is, as a matter of fact. So even that one's rare. Okay, Scott. Now I understand why we thought maybe there's. Okay, I'm with you. And no, I don't know the other company though. Although if they're cool, by all means, I'll have to check them out. Speaking of cool companies, on my Texas trip, I stopped at Sons of Liberty Gunworks. I know that there are a number of folks that I interact with on the interwebs that are big fans of Sons of Liberty Gunworks, and if you are, let it be known that they're at the factory. It's pretty cool. They have a pretty sweet stuff, like the recreation area, I guess we'll call it, is pretty banging. And I talked to Mike something or other because I stuck with names, and very cool cat. My friend Jonathan sent me. I met him and we went over there. And it's a pretty cool place, and the guys there seem pretty cool. I was letting them know that I got this list, and you all know the list, like what guns are acceptable and what happened to defense. Aren't they on the list anymore? But that their guns have not been kicked off the list, but they're not yet on the list because I'm only at 9 unique samples that made it through the 2-day 1,000 round class. And maybe we get somebody this coming week, get them over the hump, and we'll have like big ta-da! There's now a 5th rifle manufacturer, which technically would have been the 6th had Daniel Defense not fucked everything up and got kicked off the list. Yes, they do have a bar there, and it is well stocked. Totally dig it. What great place. Great place. Sons of Liberty Gunworks, solid dudes. And one gun shy getting on the list, people. Somebody bring a Sons of Liberty Gunworks rifle to class, please. Yes, Willie Rodriguez. BCM is on the list. For those of you who aren't aware, the list is Colt, Bravo Company, Midwest Industries, and Lewis Machine and Tool. Arrow guns, I don't know if I've seen more than 3 full arrow guns. I see an assload of guns with arrow parts that people have built. Arrow is very popular for people buying things that they want to assemble themselves, but I will call that a factory gun. Just even if they used all arrow parts, like the exact same parts, arrow bills, but they bought them in a box, put it together, because their ability to put it together could not be up to the same stuff that Arrow Precision themselves would do, and that would mean that they could easily never make the list because of somebody's incompetence at assembly. How many Geisleys have made it through class? 0. That's because I've had 0 full Geisley rifles come to class. Geisley just started in rifle, like what year? Like full rifles. Geisley parts. I've never seen a Geisley part that was bad. I have a bunch of Geisley triggers, I had some guy rails, AK, like the springs, and I'm trying to remember what all. Bunch of like lower parts kits. Like the trigger guard, and although I prefer the mag pull, and and then they got like the kit with them. The only thing I really don't like of theirs is that maritime bolt catch, because it's dumb. It works like it's functional. It doesn't make the gun, incapable of working, but it's stupid. The head of their QA is the brother of the singer of Slayer or something. What the fuck? Why didn't he say that? Like, I'd start off with that. Like, hey, this is Tim. His brother is somebody famous. Gabe, good to see you can make it. I was late too, apparently. So, like, my mouse while I was gone on tour quit working. So this is actually the mouse from my computer in my office, and my microphone was all packed away. That camera was packed away. The cam link was packed away. All the microphone cables were packed away, and man, and then didn't have any of it. I didn't know where it was. Mike Fiore's a smart cookie right there. God, yes, I'm aware that rifle manufacturing is not their thing. I remember when they made their first lower. That was, it was a couple years back, and they were like, "Yeah, we're never going to make these for you guys. We just made them so that we had test lures. It turns out it did. I assume business has been bad for everybody in the gun industry. And I think for them, they decided to start making product they never intended to sell, like lowers, because of business being slow. A lot of that had to do with not like their fault or the customer's fault, but supply material fault. But like the magazine fiasco that they did, like here's a $4 magazine and we're gonna sell it for like $28, and but it's got our name on it. And I was like, ooh, fellas, stop that, like ceasefire. Yeah, I shot Javier's Geisley a couple weeks ago. It's a nice rifle. I mean, I know Geisley makes nice shit. I wouldn't use one of their magazines though, because well, oh shit, Scott, that's amazing. I wish I didn't know. Well, my next trip to Texas, I'm gonna stop back in and hang out with those guys some, and that will have to come up. Like it will just have to come up. When is Midwest going to come back? I didn't know that they left. It'd be nice when they'll have some parts available, but they too have been hit by the can't get supply of materials, like everybody has. You just see me trying to find an ALG AK trigger. Only took me like 4 months. So what else happened on that trip? I can cross off Sons of Liberty Gunworks as far as the trip. Hung out with the Dave Biggers experience. Exciting news on that front, by the way. Shall I give it now, or should I wait until I get to that part on my list? Fuck it. We'll go ahead and give it now. So, hanging out with Dave Biggers for a few days. And I was talking to Zach Bush over at Definitive Training Solutions on the phone, sitting beside Dave. Not that Dave, because that's actually Bob. The subject of the shotgun class came up. The dual shotgun class Zach and I are doing hot shotgun cold weather. I don't remember, or whatever we called that. It's Black Friday and the Saturday after, whatever they call that, Blacker Saturday. And talked to Dave about it, and Dave is now on board. Dave Biggers Experience will be teaching a block of instruction during the 2-day class encompassing shotguns and barrier penetration. So he'll be maybe exploring some of the myths of what birdshot does in your house or doesn't do in your house, and buckshot does to car doors, and slugs do car windows, and that kind of thing. But exterior walls, interior walls, basically whatever kind of shit that Dave wants to shoot various types of shotgun shells through. So he will have a complete block of instruction on that on one of the 2 days. Don't know which day. We haven't figured that out yet, but he will be do that. So now it is the Dave Biggers Experience, Tremis Dynamics, and Definitive Training Solutions cold weather hot shotgun. Still slots available. So I can cross that off my list. Biggers shotgun. I hung out with Dave. He was the first stop of my trip and the last stop of my trip. I picked up a enclosed utility trailer from Dave, so that at classes I can have a trailer full of all kinds of cool shit that we could use at class instead of being more minimalist, which I'm okay with and can still do that just fine. But instead of using like 50-gallon drums barricade, now I have some way to transport barricades better than the bed of my pickup truck, which also has to transport a lot of other shit. So now I'll be able to jazz up the classes a little more, since I have a travel trailer that I put on my shit. We're at that class is in Lebanon, PA. on the Black Friday and the blackest Saturday and the blackest Sunday. We're not, Zach's having a class on blackest Sunday, but not, it's not the shotgun class. New gear for Tremis Dynamics, thanks to Mr. Biggers. Let's see, where else did I stop on the trip that was awesome? I did 3 stops in Tennessee. After Mr. Biggers, I visited the wonderful Barlow family. They're doing well. In case you were wondering, for those of you that know him, Paul usually is who we're talking about. I do not have any codes from Primary Arms, but if there's something you would like to get from Primary Arms, somewhere up in here is Alpha Charlie Concepts, and if you shoot him a message, he will give you a link, and the link doesn't save you a nickel, but it does throw a couple of cents his way, and somehow that's like because he's an affiliate, so you could be a sweetheart and hook him up. And then I went anyhow on my back to my trip, went down and saw Jordan Winkler, hung out with him. Man, I love that dude. He is awesome, and I got to figure out how to get him to some type of class, whether he wants to just come shoot or he'd like to come talk or do some shooting and some talking or any of that kind of jazz. I'd be down for it, and I just got to figure out how to make that happen. I see that my moderator has thrown up the links. Oh, Alpha Charlie Concepts says, if you use the link that he provides you for any of the purchases you'd like to make a Primary Arms, it gets you free shipping. I think one time I used the link and they also threw in like a scope mount. Like I ordered a scope, and because I used the affiliate link, it came with a free scope mount. Which I think I sold for something, I don't remember how much, but it offset some of the cost that I made on the scope because I was using the Midwest mount. I mean, wasn't nothing wrong with the Mason, but I use Midwest. There you go, Scott, John, you have now linked up. No, not like that. Not like that. No, not like that either. I'll stop talking. And yes, John, that's true. Crystal, since she is moderator, her name's in blue, she can share links. Nobody else can on the chat. I don't pick that. That's like a YouTube thing. Yeah, Willie, wasn't Jordan awesome? I'm gonna make sure I see him around here at some point. So let's see. Then after that, I went down to Jacksonville, Florida, and I spent the weekend with John there from UW Gear, and we talked stuff. We talked a little bit of gear, but not a ton of gear. He did a study as far as like helping me understand some of the design process behind the gear that he makes and why certain features are better in certain applications than others, and things I hadn't thought of, like from the engineering end, not from the use end, and interesting stuff. But we did talk a lot about current events and mindset and tactics of a fair chunk of that kind of thing, less so than like skill or gear. Aloha from Georgia. I was in Georgia. And in fact, man, that's a direct link. And after I left John's, after spending the weekend down there, by the way, John is awesome. Lovely family. Really enjoyed hanging out with the whole crew. Then I went to Georgia, hung out with my friend Luke and my friend what was I going to say? I was already on to things we talked. Oh, Elaine. Luke. I hung out with Luke and I hung out with Elaine. And we talked about toxic masculinity and how it wasn't actually that toxic. Luke hooked me up with an awesome bottle of bourbon. It apparently is rather affordable, but it tastes pretty good. Tomorrow's Instagram, I'll have a picture of that and a bottle of whiskey that Colt gave me later on in the week. But hung out with those guys. That was awesome. Then I went over to Ackless Defense in Louisiana. Finally saw the place. Got to go behind the scenes into the manufacturing area. Spent a few hours over there talking to Zach and just a little bit of Joe and a tiny little sliver of hanging out with Dennis and some Asian kid. I can't remember his name. Sorry, dude. I suck with names. And you weren't wearing like a little thing. From there, over to Fort Honey Badger and had a pretty good class. Did dynamic pistol. Sonny's range is awesome. So the ground is soft because there's a lot of pine needles on it, and there's a lot of shade because there are trees on it, and it also the trees on it means that there's like shit in the way when you go moving around, like up the close, 10, 12 yards and into the berm, and he's got a two-sided berm. There isn't any trees. There are some trees on the berm, but when you start getting back, there are like obstacles, like life, and it makes it great to teach in. And it also, the shade they provide is pretty okay as well. Yes, Will. That's it. Asian Will. He seemed pretty all right. I didn't actually even see Danner there. Like he was bebopping around somewhere because somebody mentioned him, but I didn't see him. I've seen him in years. Opportunity to take a class at Sonny's, you should. Obviously, I think people should take classes from Sonny. I've been saying that for a few years now. Like we had brought him up to Pennsylvania a number of times, and so you should take classes there. But if he's hosting someone, because I know he hosts a couple of folks, you should, and you went to class and from the person that he's hosting and they're having it there, like that's a good combination. So highly recommend that. Left Sonny's and I went over to Rogue American Apparel and Vader Coffee, stopped in there. Pretty nice setup. They've got some lovely young lady whose name I don't remember. Talked to her there in the showroom for a bit and got some coffee and whatnot. Left there, went to San Antonio. Had an awesome day there. My wife flew down. I picked her up at the airport. And we did like the Riverwalk thing, and that was okay. It was really neat that there wasn't a lot of handrails on the Riverwalk. Like there was that whole personal responsibility thing. Mike, no opinions because I don't have enough information. Like I don't have enough experience to form an opinion. So did the Riverwalk thing, and then we saw the Hemisphere. Like it was built in the 60s for like a big fair, like a World's Fair, but only for Hemisphere. Got a big Space Needle looking thing that's in San Antonio, and then the stuff that's around it. And that actually was pretty neat. I was surprised how cool that was. And then we went over to the Alamo, which was much cooler than everybody told me it would be. I had a lot of people tell me that it was like, oh, it's just a little building right in the middle of town and there's not much to see and it's nothing special. And I thought it was pretty special. And if you're the guy that tells me it's not pretty special, like, I don't know if you and I are the same type of people. Then went over to Del Rio, did 2 classes there, 2-day Force on Force class and day 3 vehicle. Thought those turned out pretty well. Lit a car on fire. By accident, I put it out. It's okay. Then on the way home, stopped by Excess Sights, hung out with Gary Cooper for an evening, and then made it all the way. Oh no, then I made it to Western Tennessee, hung out with a couple of friends there, and then it all back to Biggers, picked up the car and came home. It was an awesome tour. It was a month long. It made me tired. Now, for the weird parts about the classes. So here's what I don't like. I was baffled. Maybe somebody out here in YouTube land can explain. Primary arms GLX 2X Prism. No, but in the comment section is a fellow going by the name Alpha Charlie Concepts. He might have had some experience with it because he's got a lot more experience with primary arm stuff than I do. Although I own a few in two different locations, East Texas, West Texas. In one class, I got 9 people signed up and all paid. 4 did not come to class. I mean, usually, often somebody does. And then they call and we work it out and I move them to a credit to another thing. Or sometimes I tell them, man, fuck off. There's no refunds. You agreed to that when you signed up. And I was like, man, that is straight. I've never had 4 out of 9 pay and then not be able to make it for whatever reason. And regardless, a week later, I'm over in Del Rio in West Texas, like fucking 83 hours away. Texas State. I have 9 people signed up for Force on Force class. Both of these classes, mind you, are the first 2 classes I've ever had that weren't sold out. I capped my classes at 10. They only had 9. So we're over there. 9 people signed up. 6 did not come to class. Of the 9, 8 had already paid. The fellow who paid at class came and paid at class. 6 people paid, didn't come. On the day 3 vehicle, we added a fellow, so we had 4 out of 10. 6. I don't understand what's going on in Texas, or maybe it's the whole training industry that people are paying for classes and not coming. Maybe it's all that stimulus money that people are getting that they're like, what's $500? Like, oh. And that's what me, TJ. I mean, I can understand. Nobody really said I had no ammo for class. Like not one person said that. But the Force on Force class doesn't require a lick of ammo. And like the only cost is tuition, and they had already paid that. So I mean, I guess a hotel room, but I was baffled. So Crystal says it's an intense class with only 3. People got a lot more reps because like we would do a drill where A was squared off against B, and then so that C got their rep, A would square off against C, and then B would square off against C, so everybody got like double the reps. And we did that for just about the tour, probably 3,500 miles, I think, is what I put on my truck. I like 3 weeks before I left, I got an oil change, and on my way back, the little light came on telling me it was time for an oil change again. So, with tour and 3 weeks of driving here, I put 5,000 miles on it. Let's talk about the other weird thing that happened in Texas. I'm a little disappointed. Like, I'm awfully impressed with most things Texas, but I was there for 10 days or so. Met 11 pickup truck owners. 11. 2021. 2 of them had 4-wheel drive pickup trucks. The other 9 had 2-wheel drive pickup trucks. 2-wheel drive pickup trucks. So disappointing. I think that it's easier to drive a 2-wheel drive pickup truck while wearing a skirt. So maybe that was the reason. I don't know. So this was the most offered excuse when I was like, you have a 2-wheel drive pickup truck? Invariably, the next words were, I live in Texas. What do I need a 4-wheel drive for? What does that have to do with anything? We're like, well, it doesn't snow here. Really? So you didn't have any snow like 2 weeks before? Like, well, that was an anomaly. Oh, so you do get snow. And then they said, well, we don't go anywhere. Like, there's nowhere to go that requires 4-wheel drive. So while I was in Del Rio, I went over to Armistead Lake and literally drove the parking lot over by the marina. Out of the side of the parking lot was a dirt road. I just drove on it, drove all the way down like to the water. And on the way back, had I not had 4-wheel drive, I wouldn't have made it because it was a 4-wheel drive type dirt road trail. It wasn't really a road. Yet the folks there said, well, I don't need it. So either they're really fucking cheap or they're really dainty that they don't have, like, I didn't even know there was a 2-wheel drive pickup truck. Like, why does that exist? My wife drives a RAV4, which is all-wheel drive. So I did have to remind them all that my wife's station wagon has better off-road capabilities than their pickup truck. Oh, look, Colt, I didn't out you, Colt. You didn't have to tell everyone that it's easier for you when you hike up your skirt to get in a 2-wheel drive truck than 4-wheel drive. Man, you didn't have to say a word. The same road. You don't even know what road I went on. It was off of the RV parking lot, not off of the marina parking lot. Regardless, that was surprising that there were so many 2-wheel drive pickup trucks. Now, I have to say, my wife's drive truck or all-wheel drive station would not have made it down to the lake where we had drove down because there was ground clearance issues that probably wouldn't have made it on. The hood scoop. You get the hood scoop on the TRD Sport too, but you can't get the snorkel on anything but the Pro. So what else I got on my list? Because we're on a time crunch. That was my Texas trip. I'm going back to Texas. I'm going back to Texas this year. Not 2 stops though. I'm only going to Del Rio. I plan to do some type of for next spring as well, hitting some southern states, but maybe we'll have more stops that have like activities in them and not just visiting with my friends. Good night, Scott. I do not shop with Big Daddy Unlimited. I did get the 99-cent trial month, and it wasn't that they didn't have a lot of deals. They did not have any Peltor Contact 6s in stock for that entire month. But I didn't need any shit. So they do have deals, and I didn't see any fault with them. I just wasn't going to stay a member when I wasn't buying things. But first class ever being force on force could be good. I don't have any data to really back that up because for my force on force class, I don't have any students that was ever their first class. I have previous employers had a very minute few amount of students that did take force on force prior to a pistol class, but the so few data point, I can't make a good opinion of it. I think that it should be good, but like a lot of the things that we do in my force on force kind of break some myths that happen during most live fire classes. So if they don't know those myths, it won't have the same impact, but the value will be the same, because later when they take a live fire class, they'll understand exactly why we're doing the things that we're doing, because they'll wear the welts. So I'm okay with it. I just can't say it's better or worse because I don't have enough data points to make a good valued opinion. But Texas, going back there in November, the weekend before Black Friday, so whatever that weekend is, this is normally where someone smarter than me uses a calendar and tells me when it's at, because I don't have my phone with me to look on the calendar, and I probably would fuck up that computer screen sitting right here if I tried to change the window over to the calendar. So the weekend prior to damn, Britt, you want your daughter's first class to be force on force? You're mean. So anyhow, yeah, that weekend, I'll get to some of these questions here. That weekend, there's a Friday night lecture, the radio ops lecture, just the lecture, the practical exercise afterwards. Saturday is dynamic blunderbuss, and Sunday is the land navigation seminar, not the full land nav primer that has 1 day classroom and 1 day of in the field. It is just the 1 day classroom portion. We're trying to come up with a way for students to save on ammunition costs. So if you've got a fucking potato bang radio, well, we got a 3-hour seminar on how to make that not suck. 1 day of shotgun. It's the cheapest ammo that you can actually still get. And then Sunday is all land nav stuff. So all you really need that is a pen and paper, take notes. There's a bunch of handouts and like a 50-page book that comes with it. And like you get a lot of shit to take. You can bring a compass if you have one, but you have to have when we're using them protractors, we have loaners. So there's that. So there's not a lot of ammo costs. And I'm doing a deal. The patrons over on the Patreon already sign up for these classes. The rest of you will be able to sign up later this week. If you take dynamic blunderbuss and you add the radio class, we'll knock $10 off the radio class for doing like a 2-class combo. If you take dynamic blunderbuss, you sign up for that, and you sign up for the nav seminar Sunday, we'll throw in the radio seminar free. So that's like a $50 savings. So there's some bonuses for comboing it up. And if you're driving out to Del Rio from somewhere else, fuck it, come early enough and take all 3 and for the price of 2. Damn, Brett. I will tell you something else. If you, I have some other force on force classes that are a little less intense than my 3-day dynamic pistol class. And when we're not here, remind me and I'll point you towards some of the ones that I recommend. Yeah, speaking of radio classes, April 18th in Danville, there is the full-blown radio ops primer. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you can sign up for just the seminar, or you can do the seminar with the practical exercise afterwards. And it should be pretty cool. I know a couple people are coming to it that are in this thread. We will make sure that your video you can use it. It's not going to be ham nerd stuff, and it's not going to be how to set up networks. It'll be how to use this thing to talk to that person over there. when they have one of those as well. And there is a land nav class also here in Bloomsburg, a 2-day version, one day seminar, one out in the woods, May 1st, maybe April something. Where is my moderator? Does she? Maybe she put a link up. Maybe, please. May 1, 2. There we go. There are the dates. Link. Anyway, so happening. There's also a class this weekend. You guys know, 4 days of class this weekend. What a great way to celebrate the. What do you celebrate on Easter? Like, you don't celebrate the death of Jesus. It's the resurrection, right? Like where he was raised up or something. That's happening this weekend. It's dynamic carbine, days 1, 2, and 3. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Monday is team dynamics, which is kind of day 4. That should be pretty good. Okay, now we're some things up here. 474, so I could be a Big Daddy. Opinion, whole military arms channel, and drama. All right, so let's back up a little bit. A few years back, one of my previous employers said to me, "Hey guys, I'm thinking about doing a collaboration video with Tim from the Military Arms Channel. What do you think?" And I said, "Oh, I don't have cable. I don't know what that is." And then everyone laughed. Ha ha. YouTube channel. And I went, I don't know that either. So then I decided at some point, I was like, "Well, who is this?" And I should take a look. And dude that seems so okay. Tim is his name. Hammond, something like that. I think it starts with an H. I suck with names. Like, just forgive me. And I've seen a couple of videos. I would watch a couple of that I will look for information on. And then I saw there was some sort of fucking drama with some fucking Russian gun or not Russian gun or looked to be like a Russian gun. And I don't know all the drama about, and frankly don't care. So that was the opinion I had on it. I don't know what the drama entails. None of my business. And I wasn't going to go like digging into it to try to find out because it was none of my business. It's a strange attitude to have. You'd be surprised how few people have it. Yes, Crystal, all of those. Team Dynamics is Monday after Easter, TJ. So next Monday from yesterday, 6 days from now, something like that. It would be awesome to see you there if you'd like to come down. Bug the Fuck Out is May 15th, 16th. Josh, I know you were looking for that. And Josh says he liked both of the links, the radio and the lay-in that class. So there you go, TJ. You get the hookup on the dates, and you know. I thought so. Though that's a Bob Century. No, I almost said Century Arms. Century Arms made it. It probably would have issues. Century Martial Arts makes the Bob, and I think I need to come up with a new name other than Bob. I'll come up with something. That's my new plate carrier on Bob back there. Cry Precision Feather Light, Air Light, weight, something like that. I don't know. It's pretty light. I forgot this one, which reminds me, the fellow behind me with the hat, the Defiant Munitions hat. Defiant Munitions this week like sometime between now and the big holiday weekend, is releasing for sale 55 grain TCX solid for expanding hollow point, 55 grain 556. You should get some. Remember, Tremis 2021, TREMIS 2021 will save you 10% off your order from Defense Munitions. Gabe, I can't really call him Bruce because my FedEx guy's name is Bruce. Although it is a cool name. I could see that. Yes, John sewed some Velcro onto my carrier. It had some issues. Technically, I had some issues because I ordered a small for my size small polyethylene plates, which are currently residing in it. And size small polyethylene plates, 8x10, size small ceramic plates, which that's made for, ESAPIs, are like 8 3/4 by 11 or something. Like they're a little bit bigger. So it had some up to down slop, and the flap that goes under the plate, I couldn't pull tight enough to bring the plate all the way to the top of the carrier. So John hooked up some Velcro on there so that when I roll it up further, it can still Velcro in place and lifts the plate up to the top of the carrier. And so I have the Cry Precision UW Gear collaboration. Everybody gets one of those. I cannot call him Simon. He has not yet pointed a gun at me. Ooh, Josh, you got in on the Defiant Munitions, like the Kickstarter thing. Good. I'm glad that good folks got involved in that. Did he already release the 55 grain for you guys? Is that how that works? I know you guys like a discount or something. I don't know what all it entails. I don't remember anymore because it's been so long since I saw the details about it. And at the time, I didn't have like spare cash to join it. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't super expensive, but it wasn't cheap. And it was before I really like teaching kicked off solo for me. So I was good deal. Well, your Simon has his work cut out for him. However, he will probably have decades and decades of being the only Simon of the two Simons to work on it. So as one fades from memory, the other will be rising, ascending to, awesomeness. Everything I had on this. I did pretty good. It's like 904. Oh, I do have one here. Shield Plus, ? I don't have my hands on one yet. Don't ask me for my opinions because I don't have one at the moment. I have speculation and that's it. And I have a few people who have told me that the ones that they have or have handled, what they thought of them, but I can't give you anything but my opinion from my experience, and I don't yet have it, but I will. So it will be coming as soon as I get my hands on one. So I think I got everything on the card except for my parting shot. And I might have a name, Gabe. G.I. Joe is not the name, but it gave me an idea. I'll mull this over, though. I have a parting thought, and you may see it from my point of view, or you may have a whole different point of view, which challenge your point of view, maybe fix it. So the thing I want you to think about is, and this was from something I saw on the interwebs today, and it has nothing to do with fucking the earlier stuff of on the internets, but I was watching things on the internet. Oh, Simon, if you're listening, hello, young man. Give your mom a big hug. Two things. Man, fuck. I got two things to talk about. Shit. So, Alpha Charlie Concepts has a YouTube channel. On his said YouTube channel, he talks about shit, and I watch pretty much most of his videos. Notice I didn't say pretty much all, because I'm a couple videos behind. I was on tour. But when I was down there, we filmed a video together, like set camera, society. We both filmed the same fucking video and poof, put it on the internet at the same time, noon yesterday. Well, as you know, I don't have comments on videos. This little box that you folks are commenting on is the only place that I allow comments on YouTube, because I don't have fucking bullshit time to moderate everybody's shameless self-promotion. And have you checked out my new Sling Master 8000 link here on sale, 10% discount? Like, nope. I got to go delete that shit. Anyhow, John allows comments on his channel, and wow, was there some fucking comments. It took them longer than I thought it would to get to those comments, but you all should go check out his channel. And like, if you watch his version of the video we filmed together, it's actually better because we're both looking at his camera and we're looking at camera, so it's a little direct, breaking that fourth wall kind of thing. But you could go in and read the funny comments. That I was entertained. Anyhow, entirely different thing on the internet today. I watched a video. It had professionals in it, and at the end of the video, I looked around my office, which is not this room, my empty office, and said, imagine not being able to shoot left-handed. And that made me write it down on an index card, because people will think, man, I do have to imagine what that'd be like. And some of you might not have to imagine it, because you might be living it. In which case, that's fine. You have time to fix it. Start today. My tactical recommendation for you to learn to shoot better with your left hand is start doing other stuff with your left hand. The more fine motor skills you use it for, the better you'll do everything with. So if you can write your name left-handed, you'll shoot a gun left-handed. Awesome. Start with brushing your teeth, because you'll do it poorly and it will hurt as you like jam a toothbrush in your gums and whatnot. But you'll start being a little more careful, and you'll get fine manipulations down. And something simple as brushing your teeth. And when you can brush your teeth left-handed, you'll notice that your shooting left-handed gets way better without ever firing a shot. Who knew? The stranger, yes. The stranger. Not the masturbatory hand, the stranger. Yeah, if we had time, we probably would have done a live stream, but we were just busy. Next time, we'll try and we'll just make a better set of plans for what we're going to do. At some point, we'll do a video series about things you can do that aren't tactical or like have nothing to do with shooting that will make you a better shooter. They're just things you can do as benefit. Although somebody there will poo-poo something or other and be like, oh, well, you're not a Delta Beret guy and you don't know what you're talking about. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But when every one of those guys that I ever talked to about a Brock string was like, that's fucking amazing after they tried it. So there are things, that you can do that aren't shooting, better shooter. Some album video series or something like that. All right. So anyway, I got 9:10. I think that's an actual hour after I literally started because I was late trying to get my shit squared away. And I left with a parting thought. And I'm going to go do shit. I have things to plan for. I got to go get another fucking oil change tomorrow and get ready for 4 days of class this weekend. So hopefully I will see some of you at that class. Some of you I'll probably see before then, after then, during then. Tomorrow I got to go taste some Imperium. Busy week for me. Busy week. So I will see some of you later. Crystal, I will see you on Friday. And some of you, I will see you next week right here on Tuesday. Take it easy. Where's the end button? I clicked it. Why won't it? There we go. Yes, end.